So
Morning.
before the class gets going, let me orient you as to what they're doing.
I've set down my espresso. Okay.
So they have gone through. They're working on the fourth section, and they have gone through dodge through back.
Okay.
I believe they have gone through punch to ground, and
That's
then
it.
they're going. The next move they're working on is elbow to heart.
Okay. It's been a while since I thought about the move, the form in terms of the moves. Which are those moves? Let me
So
pin you.
they've gone
Or
through.
actually, you can't do it. Is there someone who could? No, no,
Well,
my,
I can kind of do it. All
oh,
right.
come on, Malcolm.
So punch the ground is here, or excuse me, dodge through back is here.
Yep.
Dodge through back. Punch the ground is this one.
Okay.
Punch the ground, and now elbow to heart,
Yep.
and then
Lay down. Yep. Yeah. Don't. Yep, don't.
punch the head. All right.
Okay.
That's as believe me, they're not going to get any farther than that. Although Catherine's very fast, so you can just
Oh,
rocket through these, and Catherine will pick them
All
up
right.
just like that, right?
All right. So where do we leave off and where are we going to? What do you want me to? What's the block
Well,
cover?
what you should work on is
19 and 20.
Oh boy.
yeah is well, Catherine, here you're running into something with Jarrett that is also true for me, etc., etc. After a few years, you don't think about the numbers anymore, and you
Oh,
don't think about the names. Those are like step ladders to get up to a higher level. But once you're up there, you sort of forget about all that, and you just go through and do it.
Yeah.
The reason you learn them again is because then you got to teach somebody. So they're very they're very useful for teaching. But when you finally get it, you're going to leave that stuff behind to a certain degree. So punching the ground is all right.
That's your start. That's the start.
Punching the ground. That's the start.
no, it's not the start.
Well, it's where we're starting. It's the end. It's the end of the move. Punch the ground. Right. So from that point of punching the ground, it is the beginning of elbow to heart. And elbow to heart is just a backhand elbow to heart. That's it. That's the whole move.
Okay,
And
Malcolm, and Jared, but can we start at the beginning of move 20, meaning like the one that
We're actually gonna do uh,
finishes
like I
by
love I
punch
love
the ground?
context uh and Malcolm knows this from when you would do something with Master Zhang, you say, this is the piece I want to learn. He'd say, okay, let's start behind that. And you kind of like get into it. So we'll get into it, and then I think where we're going to start, if you will, teaching, talking about today, will be at punch ground to
elbow to heart, right?
elbow to heart.
And if there's a little extra time, you can go on to the next move, which is punch the head.
Yeah.
And they've actually done these before over the last month. Yes, Catherine, you have done these moves. We have been through these moves twice before in the last 6 weeks. So just go ahead with them. See what you can get, how you can move it, and of course, the idea of putting them in context is a good idea. Technically, the truth is, you should begin every class by doing the whole form, or at least as much of the form as you've learned, at least once. Back in the day when we did these with Master Zhang, or when I taught them in the big studio in San Francisco, I would lead the first one, and then I'd have one of the senior students lead the second one. And then we would go into working on a specific move or a specific section. We've kind of let go of that for a couple of reasons having to do with time, but the price of that is you don't get as much practice. So it's certainly fine to go back to the beginning of the fourth section, which is dodge through back, or you can go all the way back to the beginning and start from there and go through just to get things warmed up. Catherine, you're shaking your head. What's wrong?
It's true that we could, but it's going to be difficult.
Well, that's true. It is difficult. If it was easy,
It's true. I mean, we learned it, definitely.
if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. I understand Trump is taking up Tai Chi.
Oh no. Hey Jared, I'm sitting down because my knees are bad, so don't.
That's fine.
So I'm watching intently.
Well,
Yeah.
move your hands.
Watching counts. And
There you-
Jill, who is the
JB.
drinking her coffee there,
Yep.
has a bum ankle. Although I hope it is getting pretty well healed up.
Yes.
Broke her ankle a couple of
No,
months
I
ago.
shattered my ankle.
You shattered your ankle
Oh,
a couple
boy.
of months ago.
I can't just do something a little bit. I gotta.
You gotta go the whole way.
Go all the way.
So you've got some walking wounded on the team here, but they will pick up on here. And Jim, who just checked in here, is not even doing the form. So he's checking in because he's smart, and he's going to pick up some hints from what's going on in here for the Qigong classes. Okay, I'm going to mute myself. Go ahead, have fun.
All right. So, great. Just like with the morning Qigongs, feel welcome to ask any questions as you go. I'll probably ramble on some things. So as Malcolm mentioned, yeah, it's I've kind of forgotten where all the chapter markers are for these forms, if you will. Partially out of it's been a long time since I had to think about it. You know, in my class before the pandemic, we had a pretty robust class in here in Oakland, California. After the pandemic, people came back for like 1 or 2 days, and then it kind of filtered out. And what I have now is, you know, basically some people that have been doing Tai Chi for a long time. So we really just kind of jump into it and review what we need to. But the other part, and this is kind of the, you know, rambling a little bit about history here. So when I was learning it, you know, we were in the big group class, and when people would say the names of the sections or whatever, I was so busy trying to learn the moves that was my focus. And then in private lessons with Master Zhang, he would always just say the names in Chinese. And that goes for the 83 form, all the forms. So I have all these it was just noise to me. So I never really learned the names of sections as well as Malcolm did. But let's go ahead and jump into it. We're going to rewind a little bit to actually to where we're we're going to rewind a little bit and then we'll get into it. This is a way, just think of it. We're remembering what we did recently, and we're also just kind of waking our bodies up for it. So let's go ahead and start. Let's see. All right, so we'll go back to the back. I'm gonna and a step. Let's see. There we go. Okay, there we go. From here. My feet right? No, there's my feet. I was correct. All right. So, step. That's we're starting from here, right? Okay. So hook 1, hook 2, and then punch the ground. Long fist. Shift your weight to the left and elbow to the right. So let's get back from there. We're here. All right. So make sure I get all my steps here. Step through, turn, Step back. Boom. So, hook. One. Hook. Hook. Punch ground. Long back fist. Shift weight. Good. All right. One more time.
Can you do it slow?
Oh.
More slow, more slow.
Yeah,
slow.
I've been up since 6:30 for kids soccer games, so I just had an espresso. So I apologize if I'm moving a little fast here. All right, so let's so I'm going to mention a few things as I go through the steps, things that I think about. They will help. I think they're good to know. And here's my philosophy. The Tai Chi form, obviously, it's a beautiful form. We all do it for very different reasons. Some people want to do it for the martial aspects. That's their focus. Other people want to do it on the other end of the spectrum for the Qigong, the body movement and the healing. What I think is important is that if you're doing it for the Qigong and health benefits, and or you know, if that's your focus and not the martial, I think it's really important to at least understand the martial, because that informs how the body moves. So I talk a lot about, well, you know, punch this, grab this, do those, you know, what you're doing. But that's so that you understand the mechanics. And if you understand the mechanics, then you go, okay, that's what I'm doing. So now I need to do that in a way that is completely relaxed and feng shui. And if you can do that, that's where the Tai Chi really comes about. So I'm not trying to turn you into cage fighters. It's just, okay, if this is, these are some things to think about. All right. So, but I will try to go slower. I hear you, Jill. All right. So we do the wade through. Hands coming up. So one of the things on these is, this is good that you have a camera. As you're coming, do you see how my hand's going down the center? You want your hand to go down the center and then it crosses. So as I come, I'm going right down the center, painting a line down the middle of the street, and then the other hand goes up here. Boom. And that's important for body mechanics, because there's a little bit of a, we do all these circles, right? There's a little bit of a circle. From a martial standpoint, if a punch is coming into you, you're deflected, you're covering it, and then you're moving it out of the way. And you're going to see that in another move coming up here. So cover, go down the center, and then chest opens, hand comes up, and your other hand guides it to the side. Good. So you wade, cover down the center, and at the end, you follow through with a step up. Follow through with a step up. Swung. All the weight is on your right foot. Turn through. All the weight's on your left foot. All the weight's on your right foot. Brush straight. Circle straight. Swung. Oh. Okay, so let's do that. Swung. Open. Hook. Punch. One more time. Step back. Circle straight. Swung. Chest opens. Hook. Okay. Now I'll face the camera. Let's see. Circle straight. So do you see how this the hand that's coming back? Now that's going down the center, and the other one's going straight. That is the same as what I just did for this movement, where one hand goes down the center and the other one's coming in straight. All right, boom. So on this, now that we're stepping back, goes down the center lane and then boom. Goes down the center. So now imagine you're just doing these type of circles, just a horizontal circle. Right? Chest hollows, chest opens. So that's the beginning of the step up to punch. Oh. And if I'm repeating anything that Malcolm's already covered, just bear with me. We'll move past it. All right, so step back, paints down the center of the line, straight. So chest opens, front hand hooks, and right hand steps in. Okay, step back, curve, straight. So chest opens, front hand hooks, left hand hooks, and you move it out of the way, step in. So let's talk about that just for a second here. So if you notice what I'm doing with my hooking hand, my front hand, you could do it this way, but let's just talk about it with an open hand. It makes a little bit more sense. It's closed because the other hand's going to be coming up closed with a fist, right? And in a form, we try to simplify what our brain has to think about. Because if I'm saying, well, have an open hand and a closed fist, then it's like, oh, wait, what am I doing? It's the whole, can you pat your hand? So closed fist, closed fist. But let's talk about it if you had an open hand. If you had an open hand, something's coming into you, something's coming in to punch you, you'd be covering it and then moving it out of the way. So move it out of the way. Once it's out of the way, pop. So that first hand is important for covering it. And then you're just going to move their hand out of the way. And this is where time and space plays an important role. So let me see if I have something to illustrate. Bear with me a second. This is my handy partner.
Okay.
right.
Just a quick question.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that if it was an open hand, there would be basically just pushing away. But closed hand, is that more of a grasping, like a joint lock or something?
No. It's just, I mean, you could do it with a closed fist. It's the whole idea. You're just like covering something and moving it out of the way.
Okay, so it's not actually grabbing someone's wrist.
I mean, you could, in practical terms,
right.
That's moving really fast. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. It's coming in so fast. You're just having to kind of like, you can barely keep, you're just kind of deflecting it. Move it out of the way. And you also, if you grab it, then it's probably in your way for the next thing. Then you're like, oh, where am I going to punch? So it's there. So with this one, you're just moving it out of the way. Brush it out of the way like a big broom. Okay, so what we've done, you think this is my partner. I've stepped back there punching. I boom, boom, that's one. So this is now like the distance of my partner. So as I do do that part to the beginning of the movement, do that. My hand is fairly far from me, right? I'm a full circle away. So that's where I start to cover. And I'm brushing it aside. And then once it's out of the way, then I can step up. So brush, step. Okay, thank you, partner. And I'm mentioning these because these are some of the things that I see some confusion when we do big group classes. People like, okay, and now I'm punching, and they're so in a hurry to get to these things that they're missing the more important part. The more important part of this movement set is dealing with someone's trying to punch you or trying to push you, because that's what will hurt you, right? So deal with that. Everything else is gravy after that. Okay. So again, step back. So big open. That big open leaves your arm in front. Hook it, hook, brush it to the side, step up. So brush. Check yourself that you're not leaving your hook, if you will, your brushed or hooked hand in front of you. I see that sometimes where people step up and I do this. But if you think the purpose of this is to move a punch out of the way, you don't want to be leaving it there, because it'll be like, oh, you punched me, I punched you, it's a tie. So let's move it out of the way, and then you can just go about your business. So big open. Step up. Good. And from here, so you're going to step from 1. Step 2. Good. Let's go back. 1. So hook. Move it aside. So really deep sink on that right side. Weights on your left. Weights on your right. So hook 1. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, let me get into that position and we'll talk about a few things of where you end up. Where you should be, let's start with where I think you should be sinking, where you should be relaxing. You try to punch the ground like this, and just by simply bending at the waist, that's a very long way to go. It's quite uncomfortable, regardless of how flexible you are. So, as you step in, this is where I relax my quad. So I'm not trying to move my knee forward to get me to the ground. I'm trying to get my knee straight, and then I just sink down. It's similar to if I just had a chair. I'm like, okay, where's that chair? I'm going to sit on it. So that quad is where you're trying to sink, trying to relax, I should say. So as I come in, that becomes the point where I'm like, okay, I'll bring that down, and my back can remain a little bit up. I don't have to be like this. So get your feet where you need to, and try just to relax as much as you can. If you don't touch the ground, that's fine. What you want to do is just try to relax, keeping your back up a little bit. But try not to do straight leg, bend over. Try not to bring your knee forward. Let's see if I can get it in the frame. It's okay to have your knee go in line with like your ball of your foot. You want to avoid going past the ball of your foot. That puts a lot of pressure on that front ligament of your knee. So
and your back leg is not straight. It's bending. It's bent too.
It's bending comfortably, but I'm not relying on my back going down to get me to the ground.
Okay.
So I'm trying to sink here versus reaching down, and I'm not trying to reach and grab the ground. I'm trying to lower to the ground. So In terms of how far you go to the ground, go as far as you're comfortable with having your front knee, that front shin, vertical. Don't go too far down. And if it's that front shin is actually leaning back, then that probably means you're bending at the waist and rather than relaxing the quad. So here are those two. Self-check your things. The one, I'm gonna overreach with my knee. Oh, I can touch the ground, but I just overreached my knee. That's gonna hurt. I'm also not in good balance. Second is, see how my shin is not straight? So now I'm relying on bending at the hip. So get your boom, and then release down as much as you can. Does that make sense? Okay. So these are some things I've seen. I was much younger when I started, and I learned from my own experience of not having good posture and just powering through it. And I was like, oh, my knee's starting to hurt. Well, I wonder why. So, okay, so we talked about the setup of your movement here. Boom, boom. This is punching the ground or touching the ground. And the classical way to do it is you have a little bit of a middle finger nub. Yep. The way that I think about that, and this is kind of unfortunate, but as a kid, we had a habit of whacking our friends on the arms or on the knuckles with that, just like whacking them there. That's what you may be doing here. Whacking someone's shin, top of their foot. So try that. That's the classic way of making that contact for this movement. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. But don't actually punch the ground. We're not trying to hurt our hands here. The ground will always win. Okay. So boom, get in position. We step out. Get as far as we need to go. Shin is straight, maybe a slight forward, and then the elevator goes down. And as we're going down, this is coming up. So the front hand, let me do it in front of the camera here. And I get here, okay. As I'm coming down, as I'm sinking, this is rising. And it ends up slightly in front of where we need to be. Don't go high. No need to. So, it's just comfortable. It's protection. It's like the eave of a roof. The eave of the roof is not trying to hold up all the weight of the roof. It's just providing a little bit of coverage so you're not getting wet, right? You stand under the eave in the rain and you're good. So this is just a little bit of. So let's do that sequence. So step back, circle straight, so cover, brush aside, boom. One, two, and let me back up. 1, 2, and 3. Come in. And then from there, we're going to be kind of regripping, and it's a big pull through the back. We'll talk about that in just a second here.
So what can you do it again between the second punch on the left and then how you
get there? Yep. Okay. So there's 3 step forwards, right? So we have our step back. So 1. Let me start from the head back. So hook 1, hook 2, So one thing I think everyone's good on this. Do you see how my feet are in line with my shoulders? Okay. This is not where you want to have feet in line like you're doing a yoga stretch. So this is, you want to keep that width. So that's one I'll mention.
So
Let's do
Jared,
that. Let's do that 1, 2, 3 step. So we've already done the cover, feet together. So right side, left side. One more time. Yep, I'll be right there, Kevin. Right side, left side. Left hand is high right now. Right hand is low. They're going to switch. So they're switching because they're always moving. And then they're going to switch again in terms of which one's high, which one's low. One more time, Kevin, then I'll come to you. Right, left, step in, and from the side. Right, left. So you have this front hand, and it kind of tucks into that hole. So you have a nice hung round arm, and you're going through it. And this is something we do all the time, this idea that we have a pong and then something's going underneath it. So Qigong, pong, through. So right, you know this Qigong movement, the silk relay movement? Okay, I'm going to freeze it right here. Turn, start to sink, and boom, there's that same movement we just did. So you know this, you know that coordination. Okay. Kevin, yes.
I like this camera angle and your magnification, by the way. This is really helpful. And what I was want to point out to everybody is when you're doing those punches, it's really noticeable that you punch and come down your center line and move your core so you're not going overextending or underextending. It's really, I like the way that looks.
Good. Well, yeah, let's talk about some of these things. Again, the martial tells you, if you understand the martial arts part of it, then you understand the body mechanics, and then you add in your Qigong relaxation, and then the magic comes about. And then you're like, oh, now I can do it using my whole core. Okay. All right. So we talked about this kind of covering this and then brushing aside. Boom. Okay. So in a martial aspect, it's unlikely that the person that's giving you a hard time is going to just let you walk ahead punching them in the head a few times. So right. So you brush aside, boom. On the first one, step, boom. You're going to the temple. And then the arm drops down the center. Do you see how I'm protecting my center line here? Boom. And then that becomes my chest open, chest closing. And that chest open, chest closing is what propels the next one. So that one side is winding up the movement on the other side. So you're doing a bunch of these. It's the same movement you're doing here. I got my wind up. Oh, go down the center line. Doesn't cross too far. Just the center line, And then that leads to down the center line, swung that. So let's do a few of these, and then I'll explain a little bit more of the martial part to it. Boom. Swung, chest hollows, chest opens. Chest hollowing, chest opens. Chest hollow. Okay, and now I'm going to add, just so you think about the body mechanics, I'm going to add an extra spiral to here. Boom. So go 1, 2, punch. 1. Try to feel that movement. Yeah. Oh, good, good. So there's a lot of wind up. Malcolm is really good with that snap at the end. Good. Okay. So you want to feel that opening and closing as your hand comes down. Open and closing is what leads to the other one. That opening and closing is what leads to the next one. Okay. So now let's talk about how far you want that hand to come down after the punch. All right. So we've just done boom. I come in, boom. All right. Imagine I had a zipper. You want where your wristwatch would be. Where your wristwatch would be is going to go down that zipper line. Okay, so you're not bringing your arm across. Now my watch is not, it's just enough. So if you kind of look down on your body, look down at your own hand as it's coming down. You want that is going right down the center line. So it starts on one side of the center line, crosses slightly, and then crosses back. Boom. I'm on one side of the center line. I'm going to cross slightly, and boom. So you're doing these circles, right? You're doing all the same movement that we do all the time. You cross slightly, boom, but you don't want to go too far. Now you've overextended, and you're easy to be pushed out. You're twisted. So you let your open close do that. This is that same movement we do all the time. Boom, right? There's that punch. Boom, boom, boom. Closed fist version. Open hand. Beautiful Tai Chi. Good, good. Is that making sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about why. Obviously, Kevin mentioned you don't want to go too far. You're off balance. You could twist your body. The other thing that's going on is you just punched. Now it's very practical that someone's going to be trying to punch you again. So think of these as a series of cover, deflect, punch. So we just did the lower one, right? We talked about deflect, punch. Now you're stepping in, cover, deflect it, punch, cover, deflect, punch. You're not making a big deal of it with these two, but you're still, protect your center line, cover your center line. Not too far. Okay. Good, good. Yeah. And so Jill, you have the zipper on that beautiful sweatshirt. So use that zipper as your roadmap to where you go. And that's, I think, a good, that zipper line is a perfect reminder of how far do you need to go. Just cross it a little bit. Cross it with a curve, and it comes back. Okay, let's go back to covers to the center line. Swing, big open. Cover, brushes side, step up. Swing. 1, 2, 3. Good. One more time. We'll do it 3 times and then we'll pause for any questions. Stepping back. So cover, step up. Keep that hand kind of where it is. 1, 2. Sink on the quad in the back. Shift to sink on the quad in the front. One more time. Stepping back. Now we got here. Take your time with this piece. Don't rush this. This is an important step. So enjoy the open close. Cover step. Song. 1. Song 2. Sink on step. Step, sinking in the back, shifting to the front. Okay, let me talk about that. I missed mentioning that detail here. Let's get there again as a group. All right. Circle straight. Song. Enjoy that big open close. Cover. Brush. Song. Enjoy that. 1, 2. Sink as you step. You should be able to lift your foot up. You don't have to, I'm exaggerating, of course, but you're going to step forward with your weight still back. Sink there and let that rock you to here. Is it making sense? Is it coming across? Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Just one question about when you step forward.
Yeah.
Is I do see, you know, that you do push the back foot further back, but is it the idea?
Maybe because of the space I'm in. It's,
Well, that's why I was asking, is
Yeah, yeah.
that you should be stepping forward enough that you're in the position so you don't have to switch or move the right foot.
Yeah,
right?
after we talk for a question, I'll then talk about application, and that will make a lot more. It's one of those things like, okay, all right, makes sense, because the application tells me the distance I have to cover. So let's hold that thought. Okay, so one more time. So boom, step back. So cover, brush. Feet together, not straight, but not shoulder width. You're stepping up kind of close, right? Song. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So Jill, I'll do it not thinking about my space, but thinking about the application. Okay. So one more time, and sorry, it actually, when I do the form, the other pieces are nice and slow. That's the one thing that speeds up, and I'll explain it in a second. You don't have to speed up. That's just the way I do it. So boom, 1, 2. 1, 2. So the idea is still the same. Boom. And I'm going low and then coming in. There's it's a little bit of a difference about doing it for application and doing it for teaching. The other thing I'm doing, Jill, you may notice, is my length is longer than a normal forward step. Like if I'm doing a normal forward step, like these kind of things, Yeah, I'm pretty much going to be about like 3/5 distances, maybe a little bit more. For this one, 1, 2, I'm a lot more. Yeah. So, but for the weight so that's the application part. For the standard, don't worry about overstretching. That's not the important part. The important part of the Qigong and just knowing the movement is you're going to sink on that back qua, step forward, shift your weight, and song, song, song. So Catherine, you're doing a good distance there. Yeah, oh, just comfortable, very comfortable. Okay, questions? Kevin, anything you're seeing that's different than what Malcolm talks about?
Everybody does it different, and I try to watch as much as I can to see what I can pick up. And one thing I'm picking up from you is the hollowing of the chest and the sinking, and I can see it on you. Maybe because he's in black against black, and and for you on my screen, it's very close. I can see a lot, and so I'm picking up a lot of stuff. Thank you.
Good. So go through it nice and slow. I'm mentioning a bunch of these details. You remember 10% of them? Great. 5%? Great. No sweat. Good. Jill, any questions?
So far clear. It's just I'll have to watch the tape a few times, which is great for the having a recording. Yeah, because I think it'll take me a few rehearsals to get to that.
Yeah.
It seems as though you're almost like gliding when you're,
Hopefully I'm rooted. We'll see.
yeah. But I mean, it really looks like a dance step.
Yeah.
Very smooth.
Good,
So,
good.
yeah.
All right, let's talk about the applications. Malcolm has a
comment, two comments. One is I'm sure you are because he's really emphasized it, but still, pay particular attention to what Jared just said about the qua. That punch to the ground, right? You don't have to go all the way to the ground. You should be comfortable when you do the form. As you go along and you do it over and over and over, you can go a little lower each time, but you never have to punch the ground. You can punch your waist, you can punch your knee, or you can punch the ground. But whatever you do, sink the qua. And the way that Jared explained it is a really good way to think about it. The point of paying attention to these things is these are principles that apply to every single move. You always are sinking in the qua. But in some moves like this, it's so important it really stands out. And so if you catch that and pay attention to it, and then bring it into all your other movements, whether they're Qigong or Tai Chi, you will advance much more quickly. Second thing is really along that line too. So I stepped up here, I think it was Jill or maybe it was Kevin who was talking about using what we call the thoracic piston, Jarrett, between the Mingmen in back and the Tanjong in front. So relaxing the chest and then right lower back, center chest, lower back, center chest. That's true for every move. You think about the silk reeling exercise. If you're just doing an arm, a silk reeling exercise, it's not the arm that's so important. What's important is what's happening in the center chest, low. Well, if you put a fist on it, then it turns into what we're doing here. So the important thing is to pick up those basic principles that are kind of like the grammar and the syntax of this language of movement. And then you can apply that to anything else that you want to do. So Jarrett was really emphasizing that stuff today. Pay attention to it. You know, the particular move is not nearly as important as that underlying body mechanics.
Yes.
And based on the body mechanics comes the Qigong, comes your internal chi work. So, all right, you guys got another 5 or 6 or 7 minutes here if you want. Go ahead, but yeah, it's a good job, Jarrett.
All right. We're going to talk about that last move, the downward. I'm going to give it a few, if you will, height variations of what applications could be. And I've at different times I've heard the explanation being, no, this is the movement. And so just like anything, it's what you make of it. There's lots of things. Before we do that, let's talk. There's a range of what you could be doing as far as in these punch blocks, as far as like your need to commit to punching someone in the head or things like that. Let's start off with, if it's just a very pedestrian type of thing. Someone's coming in, they're just being a little bit too pushy. You just push their hand out of the way and just like, no, back away. I want my personal space. Same thing, like someone's coming in, they're like, maybe they're reaching out for your head and you're like, nope, I'm gonna brush you to the side and push you back. You know, someone's coming in and they're like getting a little bit too close to their hands, and then maybe they reach out to you. They're like, nope, push it aside. Nope, I want my space. So there's a range. All these things fit to these body mechanics. It doesn't have to be punch, 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 punch. It doesn't have to be that. Just like, nope, I want to protect my space. Someone's coming in. Nope, 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 nope. I want my space. Someone's coming in. You're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's keep away. So you choose the escalation that you need to. All right. So for the applications of this, the most important part is syncing the qua. As you're syncing the qua, what are you doing as you sync the qua in this? What's kind of different about this move than maybe some of the other things? Any guesses, Jim? You've been a keen observer. Anything that you notice different about this than maybe some of the other moves? All right, you're changing levels, right? You're not staying
Right.
horizontal. That's the big thing.
Punching something on the ground, like the
Yeah,
feet,
yeah.
the foot, or I don't know, something.
Watch my front hand relative to my head. So we talk about the qua, right? I'm changing my levels. I'm below my hand. Everything else, we're horizontal. We're fairly horizontal. This one, we're changing levels. So with that understanding, one thing that could be happening is that something's going towards your head and you're blocking it up and going under. It could be as simple as that. So my changing levels, it may be, I'm just going down half a foot. So Catherine, if you just kind of like relax yourself like a foot, bring your head to your shoulder level, push your hand up. That's your punch. You can be punching their belly or pushing them back, like, oh no. It could be something like that. So that's one. So that's like, we're gonna kind of work our way down here. So that's one. Two, you go a little bit level, and I've actually seen it where it's like, no, it's a headbutt. So like headbutting into their abdomen or something like that. So you go, or punching their abdomen. I've heard it explained that way. The standard, if you will, the class standard, the classical version is that I'm covering my head while I'm going down to punch their hand, their foot. So I'm going to bring my partner out, and so this is my, if we will, my distance is usually You know, that's my distance from my partner, my opponent, or my partner. It's wherever I can reach. So I either want to stay outside that distance, or I want to stay close to that distance. You don't want to be in the point where they can be punching you and you can be kind of trading punches, because that's not a win-win. That's not, or someone will lose. So you stay a little bit out of it, and then you come up. So as I do this, one thing that I may be doing, this is my distance, and boom, that's where these all make sense, right? You're covering that distance. Or their foot is there. Another application could be I'm now taking over their space. I'm moving through their space, grab their leg, throw it laid out. So that's more of like a wrestling application for it. So again, this is where my partner is. This is where I am. Instead of going to there, I'm actually going through their space. I need to move this to the camera. Okay. This is my distance. I'm moving through their space. Do you see how I'd be like going through their legs, if you will? And then a common takedown you see in all forms of wrestling, Chinese, Japanese, Greco-Roman, high school, is a straight leg entering. You go through, and then you're ending up kind of here. So I mentioned in one of my other classes, I do jujitsu. I've done some judo. So this is one of the things that is comfortable for me. I'm like, here's an opening. So this protects my upper body. Here's low. I got perfect to grab their body. Shoulder can connect with their body, and you just drive through. So Jill, when you saw me taking a bigger step, that's why I'm doing it. So, and sometimes I do the form, I just do kind of regular, and sometimes I'll really reach through. But I'm reaching through because here's my stance, and I'm going to drive through them. So, all right, any questions on that kind of little side ramp of topics? All right. So let's do in our final minutes here, let's just slow it down, and we'll do the steps, going from the right before we do our turnaround.
Swallow's nest.
Thank you. So hook, brush, step up. So 1, so 2, so 3. All right, and then we would be grabbing, long back fist, shifting our weight, re-grabbing, and then elbow. So I know we didn't get there. Let's do that turnaround one more time, or going from swallow's nest. So brush. 1, 2, 3. Re-grab, long back fist. Re-grab, diagonal elbow. Good. Any questions?
That's great.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure. Hope to see you again someday. And Jim, on if you're going to the or if you're going to the morning Qigong on Monday, we could do some of these circles we were talking about. We'll add that to our morning Qigong silk rilling on Monday.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Jared. Just bind everything together because as you get more and more sophisticated with this, you'll realize it's all really one thing. They're just different. Each routine is like a different poem, and you're going to get a little different color and a little different view of what's going on. And that's why we do all these routines. Is you're seeing things from slightly different angles, but you're still really looking at the same thing. Jarrett, that was great.
My pleasure.
Sing in, all right? So I was taking the class too. Anyway, thank you very much for that. And Jarrett's going to join us again on Monday morning at 8:30. So be there or be square. And all right. Other than that, you guys have a great day. We'll see you next time.
And
Ciao.
What about
Thank
tomorrow?
you, Jared.
what about tomorrow?
Oh, tomorrow, I don't believe Jarrett, you can't participate tomorrow, yes?
What time?
Same time, 10 o'clock.
So my daughter's soccer game is at 8:30.
But just get there and tell them to get going. Let's get this soccer game done.
We start like 10:15. I could do that.
That's fine with me.
Yeah, we can try that, but listen, don't kill yourself coming back.
Yeah.
So if push comes to shove, Catherine can fill in.
Got it.
Okay, so all right, 10:15 tomorrow.
Okay.
See you
Bye,
then.
all.
Ciao.
Ciao. Malcolm, do we have the class before 10:15 tomorrow? I just need to know.
I'd like to say yes, but I had nobody lined up for Sunday. I had every other day covered, but this Sunday.
What about doing a recording of a previous?
Well, you could certainly do that, or you could you want to lead, Jill? You want to lead the 9 o'clock class?
I guess I would have to do some review, but sure, I could do that.
Okay, so we'll have a 9 o'clock class. Jill's going to lead, and then we'll have a 10:15 class with Jarrett. Okay, very good.
Great.
All right, guys. All right, see you tomorrow.
Thank you.